Welcome to More to Know on Daily Ad Brief. I'm your host, Kent Lewis. Joining us today from Atlanta is Brian Regienczuk with SpotSource. Welcome to the show, Brian.
Thanks for having me, Kent. Great to be here.
Lovely. To get our listeners more familiar with you, can you just give us a little bit of background on yourself in 30 seconds or less?
Sure. I come up from the global brands like Coca-Cola, Philips, many other big companies. And SpotSource is our enterprise platform that helps these large companies manage their service providers. So all the agencies for some of these brands are up, live inside these companies, being used, searched for, and really driving home a lot of value for the different companies we work with.
That's an intriguing niche. So your platform manages vendors for large brands effectively, or multi.
Yeah. So think of it as an internal agency marketplace. So all these large companies are using the platform to better understand not just what they know about the agencies today, but all the other information, what the agencies bring to the table, all the performance data, on how they've been perceived by those hiring them inside the company, as well as other metrics on their success.
Interesting. So I've having worked with Google for 25, 26 years, being in digital marketing, and having worked with big brands and having been in 10 agencies, I've seen a lot. And one thing I've learned, particularly through Google, is this whole the inherent human bias of data. So I use the data selectively to tell a story about how this agency is performing and should stay or not. I'm just wondering, how do you manage that inherent bias that humans have utilizing the data you provide?
Great question. So some of it is certainly reviews internally from customers of the agency at that particular brand, but there's lots of other data coming to bear. So case studies and other performance related data that both sides are able to kind of validate. So the agency can put their information in, the brand can validate it on their side. So there is kind of a nice back and forth. One of the cool things from an agency point of view is, think of your biggest client and having kind of a digital kind of presence inside that company that anyone can find, right? It kind of changes the game for small, medium-sized companies for sure, but even the larger players, it makes them think about things a little bit differently in terms of how they manage and grow their relationship with that brand.
Intriguing. So you have some checks and balances in there. I'm wondering, where do you see your subset within the client agency relationship? Where do you see this going in the next, say, 2 to 5 years, independent of or dependent on the technology platform itself?
Sure. I mean, for us, what we've seen is data is, growing exponentially. Agencies are, getting more and more focused on all the different, channels and niche information out there that they can react to. And from a platform point of view, we don't see that changing. Traditional vendor management systems and things that procurement might be familiar with don't really bring to bear all the different nuances of how services and especially agencies and marketing firms are really selected to understand who's the best fit for what. And it is a much more complex thing than it used to be 20 years ago.
Well, that totally makes sense. I look forward to seeing how the industry evolves. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have today. So I want to thank you for you sharing your insights with us today, Brian. To find out more about this episode's guest and topic, please visit dailyadbrief.com. We hope you'll join us next time on More to Know.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.